You are saying there will be impeachment both against the president and the vice president. If this will happen, let us remember this is a constitutional duty. No? Kahit magulo, and regardless of the survey, we have a mandate that we really have to face. No? This is not a matter of gusto ba namin or ayaw namin. What we should remember, kasama po ito sa aming pinanumpaang tungkulin. Isa o dalawang impeachment, pag na-refer po yan sa Justice Committee, we should be ready to receive the impeachment complaints.
Ma'am, yung explanation nyo, peppered with word immediately. Medyo napulit ang isip ko eh. Ano po bang meaning ng immediately at forthwith?
Issue ng impeachment sa House of Representatives. Alam naman natin na merong tatlo na, no? Tatlong impeachment complaints against President BBM. At expected din natin na baka mayroon ding new impeachment complaint against the Vice President. Yung first three complaints ay naging controversial din, ano? Dahil ano yung mga puntos na dapat malaman po ng Filipino public tungkol dito sa issue ng impeachment? Given yung ano pa nga pala, yung motion for reconsideration, wala na, no?
Siguro let's start with the process, no? I want to walk through everyone about the process of impeachment. And it is important na naiintindihan ng ating mga kapwa Pilipino ang proseso ng impeachment because this is one of the extraordinary powers given to the sovereign people, no? Let me begin with there are two modes in filing an impeachment complaint. The first mode is by a private individual sponsored by a House member or by the House member himself. This is the type or mode of filing that was used in as far as the first impeachment complaint against the president is concerned. With regards to the second mode of filing an impeachment complaint, ito po yung by signature and verification of at least 1/3 of all the members of the House. You will remember the first impeachment complaint against the Vice President. Ito pong second mode ang ginamit dun sa first impeachment complaint against the Vice President. However, let us be reminded as well, bagaman ito pong first impeachment complaint declared as unconstitutional by the Honorable Supreme Court, let us be reminded, naghain po ng motion for reconsideration ang House of Representatives which to this date is unresolved by the Honorable Supreme Court. What therefore is the implication of that? To me, as a conservative lawyer who stick in the rules, because there is a pending MR, the decision of the Supreme Court did not ripen into a jurisprudence. In other words, hindi pa po final ang desisyon ng Supreme Court at hindi pa po natin masabi na talagang nabago na ang rules on impeachment as provided in the Constitution and as provided in the rules of the House of Representatives in as far as filing by at least 1/3 of all the members is concerned. Okay? So, that is in as far as two modes of filing an impeachment complaint. Balikan ko po yung first mode. If the impeachment complaint will be filed under the first mode, ito po mandatory ang referral sa Committee on Justice. But if we will be asking, how about the second mode? Ito pong second mode, the one supported by at least 1/3 for the understanding of our fellow countrymen, no? In layman's term, para po itong express lane. Hindi requirement ang referral to the Justice Committee. Instead, the second mode, the one supported by at least 1/3, it allows the House of Representatives to transmit immediately to the Senate. Okay? So, ito naman pong issue ng mga transmittal, no? Umpisahan po natin sa office ni SecGen. Ang office po ng Secretary General ang tumatanggap ng impeachment complaint. From there, she has to transmit the same immediately to the office of the Speaker. As to the meaning of immediately, I would say it depends on how the office of the SecGen would appreciate and discharge her function as such. After the same is transmitted to the office of the Speaker has a period of 10 session days to include the impeachment complaint in the order of business of the plenary. Again, anong ibig sabihin ng 10 session days? It depends on the judgment of the Speaker as to the timeliness of transmitting the same to the plenary so long as it falls within the allowed period, and that is 10 session days. From the plenary naman, they have a period of 3 session days to transmit the same or refer to the Justice Committee. As to how they are going to exercise the same, it is the judgment of the plenary, which is represented by all the members of the House of Representatives, no? I wish to invite your attention about the referral of the impeachment complaint by the plenary to the Justice Committee. This is very important because it illustrates the Francisco ruling. What is provided in the Francisco ruling, once the impeachment complaint is transmitted to the Justice Committee, it completes the initiation process and therefore it triggers the running of 1-year prohibition period. Ang sabi po sa ilalim ng saligang batas, dapat isang impeachment complaint lang laban sa isang impeachable official kada taon. It cannot be 2, it cannot be 3. So, doon naman po, pagdating sa Justice Committee, the committee that we are chairing, I summarized the process into 5 steps. First step, determination of sufficiency in form. Second step, determination of sufficiency in substance. Third step, if the impeachment complaint is sufficient both in form and substance, we need to determine if there is sufficient basis of impeachment complaint. Dito po sa third step, kompleto na lahat ng pleadings ng parties. Now, moving forward, pagdating po ng fourth step, we will be holding the hearing proper. Dito po sa hearing proper, we will begin to invite the complainant, the witnesses, and even the respondent. Kung dadating po ang respondent, it is actually his discretion as part of the due process. But definitely, the Justice Committee will be inviting the respondent. For the last step, that is the fifth step, the Justice Committee has to determine whether or not there is probable cause that supports the impeachment complaint. So that completes the process in the Justice Committee. Whatever is the decision of the Justice Committee, we need to submit a committee report to the plenary, which will decide by 1/3 vote whether or not they will approve the committee report. That explains the entire process of impeachment in as far as the House of Representatives is concerned.
Ma'am, maganda po yung pagpapaliwanag niyo. Parang lahat kami pwede na makipagdebate based on it. But anyway, ma'am, balikan ko yung unang-unang steps. Kasi ang nag-guess ko sa paliwanag niyo, endorsed and filed by a member ng House of Representatives. Paano kung walang nag-endorse nung isinumiting impeachment complaint? Walang congressman na nag-endorse.
Just like any other bill, it must be sponsored by at least a member of the House. No? In other words, sir, if this is filed by a private individual at walang magi-sponsor, 1, 2, or more, it will not be transmitted to the office of the Speaker.
Tatlo po yung nabasa natin sa mga balita na impeachment complaints. Sa tatlong yun po, alin po dun yung nakapasa dun sa endorse or filed thing ng House of Representatives natin?
I wish to... It is not my intention really to preempt the discussion of the sufficiency in form. Yung question po kasi ni Sir, it deals already with the compliance as to form, no? First and foremost, wala pa po tayong official copy of any of those impeachment complaints, no? But I can speak on the rules that by form, dapat supported yan by at least a House member, dapat signed ng private individual, at dapat verified by an authorized officer.
So as not to preempt fully, may mababasura agad sa tatlo.
Again, we cannot tell yet, no? Let's go back to the process. I was able to see from the news that the first impeachment complaint has been transmitted already to the office of the Speaker. But with regards to the two subsequent impeachment complaints, merong ongoing discussions as to the manner of filing because our Secretary General was on official travel in Taiwan, I guess, no? To represent, I believe, the government when these two subsequent complaints were being filed. We cannot comment again on that issue in the office of the Secretary General because I am inclined to believe that it falls squarely in her discretion as to how she will discharge her function and power in as far as receiving these impeachment complaints is concerned. Nevertheless, the least I can say, kung magpang-apang-abot yan sa plenary, if the question is which will be considered by the Justice Committee, it depends kung alin ang unang makakarating sa Justice Committee. If it will be the first impeachment complaint, which will be referred to the Justice Committee, technically, applying the Francisco ruling, it already bars the two subsequent complaint, no? Ngayon, kung i-transmit nila ng sabay-sabay, at the same time, the three impeachment complaints to the Justice Committee, this is my opinion, we will be prompted to consolidate all those three.
Pero dapat may endorsement pa rin.
In all cases, no, basta nandun tayo sa first mode, filed by private individual, palagi dapat may endorsement by way of resolution by at least a House member.
Hindi ba yung Office of the Secretary General should sign yung two complaints? Parang sinasabi nila rejected na dahil wala si Cheloy Garafil doon sa ano.
Sir, the rules provide that the impeachment complaint must be received by the Office of the Secretary General, no? Nakita ko sa news, the one next in line refused to receive the impeachment complaint. And ito naman po, opinion ko lang, no? This will not hold water because an impeachment complaint is too sensitive. Of course, the one next in line, if he has no specific instruction and authority, will really be apprehensive in exercising judgment over the matter.
So parang sinabi, ang ranking mo ay number 2, but you are not the House Secretary General.
I believe so.
Ma'am, yung explanation nyo, peppered with word immediately. Medyo napulot ang isip ko eh. Ano po bang meaning ng immediately at forthwith?
For me, they're one and the same, no? Pero importante na i-consider natin yung appreciation of the official given this power and duty, no? Kaya ang sabi ko kanina, I do not want to preempt the judgment of Secgen Cheloy Grafil as to how she will discharge her function in transmitting the impeachment complaint to the office of the Speaker immediately. This is a concern that falls squarely in the discretion of the office of the Secretary General.
Ma'am, magbilang po tayo ng konti ano. Assuming na kumpleto yung forms, merong 9 session days para i-transmit ng Speaker of the House. Ng House Speaker sa committee. 9 session days nga po ba?
Okay, ulitin po natin. From Secgen to Speaker, the timeliness is quote-unquote immediately. From Speaker to plenary, the timeliness is 10 session days.
3 weeks.
It depends because not all session days are considered as one session day. It could be a continuation of the prior. Now, from the plenary to the Justice Committee, 3 session days.
In total. Pero knowing the medyo hindi nga pwedeng maserten kung ilang calendar days ang session days kasi sa Congress mas mahaba ang minutes kaysa oras. But anyway, ma'am, sabi ng iba impeachment is just a numbers game.
I agree with that because lahat ng decisions on impeachment will depend on the number of votes. No? Like for example, the committee report of the Justice Committee which says, may probable cause. Pwede din namang ang laman ng committee report, walang probable cause. Either way, the decision should come from at least 1/3 of all the members of the House. So in a sense, yes, it seems like it's a number game. But nonetheless, I want the Filipino people to appreciate impeachment process on a deeper sense. Ito po'y extraordinary power that is given to the sovereign people to remove an erring, impeachable official. So it is indeed my appreciation na dapat ine-exercise ito without delay and with utmost caution.
Ano po ang status ng motion for reconsideration filed by the House before the Supreme Court?
As far as I know, because I am one of the prosecutors, wala pa pong decision ang Supreme Court concerning the motion for reconsideration.
But do we know if they're already discussing it or what? O
I
wala?
have no information, sir, as to the status within the Supreme Court.
Is it possible they're just sitting on it?
I cannot comment on that, sir. No? But of course, I wish to express our highest regard and respect to the Honorable Supreme Court. We recognize the Supreme Court as the final arbiter in all matters concerning the interpretation and application of all existing laws and rules. At the end of the day, kung ano pong sabihin ng Supreme Court, as a civilized nation, we need to follow.
In that case, yung opinion nila will stand.
If the decision will reach its finality, it will be considered as a jurisprudence which forms part of the existing Philippine laws, no? Eh hindi po natin pa ito ma-consider na final because the MR or the motion for reconsideration is still pending decision by the Honorable Supreme Court.
So less than 2 weeks na lang ang February 6. Kung wala pa between now and February 6.
Okay.
Yung lahat ng pagbabago sa Constitution will be valid and binding.
Oh, this is how I will address that, no? Kung wala pang decision ang Supreme Court come February 6, again, as a conservative lawyer, this is my personal opinion, not the opinion of the House of Representatives. I would think that the letters of the Constitution and the letters of the rules on impeachment of the House of Representatives still stand. What is significant about the decision of the Supreme Court, because this pertains to the second mode of filing an impeachment complaint, that is by at least 1/3 vote. Nagkaroon ng requirement of notice and hearing, even when the referral to the Justice Committee is not mandatory. Ito pong notice and hearing under the Constitution and under the present rules ay hindi makikita doon. So this is something new that was introduced by the Honorable Supreme Court. Now, what are we going to do kung February 6 na and the MR is still unresolved? It depends really on kung sinong tatanungin nyo, di ba? We may consider following the decision of the Supreme Court kahit hindi pa final. But the thing is, it will work technically as a withdrawal of the pending motion for reconsideration. Others may consider following the letter of the Constitution. At wala naman sinabi sa Constitution na notice and hearing. But the thing is, if you follow what you did during the first impeachment, you might face another petition for review. And you might face the predicament of being declared again as unconstitutional.
So ma'am, kung inaabangan yung ruling before February 6, what if, again, I'm speculating, magbigay ng ruling ng Supreme Court February 7 or after ng deadline ng February 6, will it redraw yung guidelines para sa impeachment on the second mode?
If the motion for reconsideration will be resolved on February 7, siguro the answer will be, it depends on the decision of the Supreme Court. If they will grant the MR, it means that we will be going back to the impeachment process. It means that the impeachment complaint archived in the Senate can be reinstated. But if the decision of the Supreme Court is to deny the motion for reconsideration, it only means that the requirement of notice and hearing for the second mode of impeachment, the one filed by at least one-third, kahit hindi kailangang dumaan sa Justice Committee, we need to follow the requirement of notice and hearing.
So ma'am, liliwanagin ko lang po did I get it right na itong pinag-uusapan ng Supreme Court dun lamang sa second mode of impeachment?
Yes, sir. Because this is the way the first impeachment complaint against the Vice President was filed. It was filed under the second mode. And we can remember during that time, there were more than 200 members of the House who signed and verified before then Secretary General the impeachment complaint.
So kung gagamitin ng first mode, gugulong yung impeachment complaint independently dun sa nakasalang ka Supreme Court.
You are correct, sir. Kung ang ifa-file na impeachment complaint is under the first mode, hindi supported ng one-third. Because by first mode, the complainant is either private individual supported by a House member or by House member himself. Hindi po magiging issue ang pendency ng MR before the Supreme Court.